Many progressives here in America are now simply saying they believe in freedom of worship instead of saying they believe in religious freedom. You may not have picked up on this, but here's what Hillary Clinton said in her concession speech this week.
Our constitutional democracy enshrines the peaceful transfer of power. It also enshrines other things: the rule of law, the principle that we are all equal in rights and dignity, freedom of worship and expression.
But the words our leaders say can make a difference. During a recent campaign rally at Regent University, Donald Trump talked about religious freedom instead of the freedom to worship.
Our religious liberty is being trampled on, and we can't let that happen.
So here's the distinction. Freedom of worship means you're free to worship the way you choose, in the place of your choice. A church, synagogue, mosque, temple, wherever. Even leaders in some communist and Muslim countries agree with that. In Iran, you have the freedom to worship inside a church building. But if you evangelize Muslims or convert from Islam to Christianity, you may be arrested or even killed. Communist China guarantees freedom of worship, but only in state-sponsored churches. Churches that are not part of the Three Self-Government Church are considered illegal, outside normal religious activity. Placing a cross on the roof of a church in Zhejiang province is considered a disruption of public order. But freedom of religion is much broader. In Oregon, Christian bakers Aaron and Melissa Klein were accused of violating the civil rights of a lesbian couple for refusing to bake them a wedding cake. The gay couple was awarded $135,000, and the Kleins were eventually forced to shut the doors of their bakery. What many Christians find objectionable is the government forcing the Kleins to go against their religious convictions and bake a gay wedding cake. When you say you have a constitutionally guaranteed right to religious freedom, that means you have the right to practice your religious views, without those views being amended or dictated by the government. Freedom of worship does not guarantee that right. So if we limit the First Amendment to only guaranteeing freedom of worship, then the Kleins' actions are indefensible, because the right to freedom of religious belief is not guaranteed, only their right to worship freely. So let's remind ourselves of what the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution actually says. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Earlier this fall, Jay Sekulow of the American Center for Law and Justice told CBN News he's concerned about the way the American left is ignoring the free exercise of religion.
So when they say freedom of worship, that is code word for we don't mean religious freedom. So I'm very concerned that you start painting people with religious beliefs and practices as if they're subversive to the American Republic, and you treat them like they're asbestos in the ceiling tile. If you get near them, you're going to be contaminated. And that's kind of the view that our government, look, this is a position we're advocating at the UN, when I say we, the United States. And this is repulsive to what our founders envisioned with the idea of free exercise of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of association, freedom of assembly. I mean, this is all part of who we are, and they're turning it upside down on its head. And I'll tell you something, when you start undercutting religious liberty and religious freedom and try to say if you believe in real religious liberty and a robust environment where religious beliefs and faiths and practices are welcome to the marketplace of idea, if all of a sudden that's a negative, liberty is removed.
Our founding fathers wanted to guarantee us religious freedom, not just worship. And that means they wanted to guarantee us the freedom to preach and evangelize, to change our religion, pray in public, and freedom from the government imposing a particular religion on us. Hamilton, Madison, Jay, and our other founders wanted us to enjoy the God-given right to freedom of religion, but not from religion, because they envisioned a religious society. One nation under God. In God we trust.